Welcome to Whip Check, the series where we take a close look at what's new and noteworthy.
Glad to be here.
Today we're focusing on the BMW iX, an all-electric SUV that's, well, it's really got people talking.
Oh, absolutely. It's making waves.
You've shared a stack of reviews with us, and our mission today is kind of cut through all the opinions, get to the core insights.
Sounds good. Where do we start? The looks.
Let's do it. We'll explore everything, the design, the luxury feel inside, performance, practicality, all based on those expert takes you send over.
Okay, yeah, let's unpack this BMW iX. It definitely sparks some immediate and strong feelings when you first see it.
That's putting it mildly. Some reactions were quite visceral. One person, quote, "What an ugly motherfucker."
Wow, okay. Didn't hold back.
Nope. Another mentioned seeing nostrils or teeth. So, yeah, safe to say the exterior isn't universally loved.
It creates a real polarization, doesn't it? Kind of like the i3 did back in the day.
Yeah, exactly.
You wonder if these design risks will pay off,
Yeah.
be seen as forward-thinking or just, well, like that other reviewer put it, a horrible facial mole.
Ouch. But it does show manufacturers trying to stand out in the EV space, right? Even if it alienates some traditional fans, maybe.
Precisely. Okay, so let's dig into the specifics. That front end, it's the main event, isn't it?
Seems like it. You've got the sleek laser headlights. Everyone seems to like those.
Right, those are pretty cool. And functional air vents, too.
But then there's that massive kidney grill area, which isn't really a grill.
Yeah, it's not functional in the traditional sense. It's fascinating how BMW is dealing with its history, its icons in the electric age. No engine cooling needed, so.
So it's just decoration. One review really questioned having this huge fake grill on an EV.
That's a valid point.
Yeah.
But BMW did integrate the sensors there. Pretty clever engineering, actually.
Okay, yeah. And they claim it can self-heal minor scratches with heat.
Over about 24 hours, apparently. Makes you wonder how well that actually works in the real world. Long term.
True. It's this mix of old branding and new tech.
And then there's what one reviewer called the muffin top overhang of the grille.
Muffin top. Hey.
And the sport package adds that black panel below the headlights.
Yeah.
Apparently it can look a bit weird on lighter cars.
Gotcha. Okay, moving to the side. Reviews generally say it's cleaner, more streamlined.
Yeah, the side profile is less controversial. Those electric door handles seem popular. A nice premium touch.
What about the wheels? 21s or 22s available?
Yep. But interestingly, the design of the bigger 22-inch wheels with the black rim can kind of trick the eye, make them look smaller.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And you have to remember, those bigger wheels might knock the range down just a tiny bit. It's always that trade-off, isn't it? Looks versus efficiency.
Right. Always. And those gold accents. On the side, mirrors, handles, rear badges.
That's definitely a choice. Some will see it as luxury, others
Yeah.
maybe a bit too much bling.
Okay, the rear design seems to go down better overall.
Generally, yes. Those thin, wide taillights give it a modern, quite minimalist look.
And hiding the reversing camera in the BMW badge. That's neat.
Yes.
Clean solution.
Very slick. Though someone did point out the rear wiper.
Oh, yeah. What about it?
Just that it's quite visible and maybe not perfectly straight, which seemed a bit odd given how minimalist everything else is.
Huh. Interesting detail.
And those diffuser-like shapes where exhausts would be. That's pretty standard EV design language now, just adding some visual interest.
Right. And the camera has its own cleaning system in the badge, too.
Yeah, built right in. A
Yeah.
cool little feature.
So, summing up the outside, cutting-edge tech, wrapped in a style that's definitely making a statement, not afraid to be different.
That's a good way to put it. But then you get inside.
Yeah, big change.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
The whole narrative shifts. The reviews are overwhelmingly positive about the interior.
Right, I saw that. Gorgeous. Absolutely fabulous. Those words kept popping up. The minimalist design seems key.
And that massive curved screen across the dash, it's a real showstopper. Integrates everything in infotainment, driver display. Very futuristic.
And it's not just looks, is it? The materials get high praise.
Definitely. Sustainably sourced leather.
Right.
Or that optional Intuit fabric from recycled stuff for vegan buyers. It feels very modern luxury.
Nice. And some unique touches, too, like the air vents, that hexagonal steering wheel.
Yeah, the steering wheel is different. 2 spokes, hexagonal. Though one reviewer actually preferred the old round one from the i3.
Oh, interesting. Why do you think that is? Just familiarity.
Could be familiarity or maybe just personal ergonomics, Hard to say.
And then the crystal glass accents on the iDrive knob, volume, gear selector.
Even optional seat controls. Yeah, they definitely add a premium feel. That walnut panel integrating shortcut buttons is nice too, though apparently the standard console isn't quite as visually appealing.
But, okay, minimalism means fewer physical buttons, right? That's the trade-off.
Exactly. Relying on the touchscreen for, say, fan speed, one review called it a faff.
Ah, yeah, I can see that. It's a common thing now, isn't it? Clean looks versus instant access.
It is. The iDrive 8 system is packed with features apps. Maybe a bit confusing at first, but reviews say it's customizable and fairly easy to swipe through once you get the hang of it.
And it's smart. Integrated climate, good navigation with traffic.
Yeah, very responsive nav system.
Yeah.
Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto Standard. And CarPlay can show maps on the driver display now, which is great. Android Auto's supposed to get that via an update too.
That integration is becoming so important. And the driver display itself is upgraded. Customizable views.
Big upgrade, yeah. Different views, changes with driving modes, lots of info available.
Good driving position reported too. Electric steering column, those Mercedes-style seat controls on the doors.
Yep, all sounds good.
Yeah.
And some preferred the lighter interior colors, felt more airy.
Space seems to be a big win, especially in the back.
Huge win. Because it's on that dedicated electric platform, there's no transmission tunnel. So tons of knee room, foot room.
Headroom okay, even with the glass roof.
Surprisingly good, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's wide enough for 3 adults in the back fairly comfortably.
Practical for families too. ISOFIX points, cup holders, USB ports.
All there. ISOFIX points are neatly covered, cup holders hidden in the armrest, through loading for skis, USB-C ports, even 4-zone climate control in the back.
Nice. What about visibility?
Generally good looking forward, thanks to the low dash. But that big sensor pod in the middle of the windscreen can be a bit obstructive for some.
Okay. And it uses carbon fiber, but it's still heavy.
Yeah, parts of the structure use it, but the iX50 is still around 2.5 tons. It's a hefty vehicle.
Gotcha. Any other little interior niggles mentioned?
A squeaky brake noise at low speeds came up, and some optional accessories like a laptop table for the back felt a bit fiddly or cheap.
And you can't open the hood yourself. Washer fluid goes in the badge.
Correct. Pop out the BMW badge on the hood, fill her up.
Weird. But innovative, I guess. Like that radiant heating, infrared panels in the doors, and dash.
Yeah, an unusual feature for extra warmth. And the panoramic roof doesn't have a blind, it just electronically tints. Very slick.
Frameless windows, soft closed doors. Adds to the luxury feel.
Definitely. And that surround view camera system sounds incredible. High def, 3D view, even cleans itself.
Okay, so the interior really seems like a strong point. Luxurious, high-tech, mostly hitting the right notes.
Absolutely. Big contrast to the divided opinions on the exterior.
Right. Let's switch gears then. Performance. What's under the, well, not the hood, but, you know.
Right. The iX xDrive 50 has around 520 horsepower. Serious grunt.
And there's an even faster M60 coming. 610 horsepower.
That's the plan. All models get all-wheel drive standard too. And that instant electric torque makes it feel quick despite the weight.
And that 0-60 in about 4.4 seconds for the xDrive 50, that's quick for an SUV.
Very quick. And the real-world range seems pretty solid too. Tests are getting around 340 miles, close to BMW's official claim.
That's usable. The lower-powered iX40 isn't in the US yet, right?
Not currently, no. But even with the weight, reviewers say the iX handles surprisingly well. Low center of gravity helps a lot.
Brakes feel okay, not too grabby like some EVs.
Apparently quite progressive and easy to modulate. Good feedback there.
And regenerative braking. One-pedal driving possible.
Yep, it has regen, recoups energy. There's a mode for one-pedal driving, though some found it could feel a little jerky initially. Takes some getting used to.
That rear-wheel steering must help with maneuverability too.
Big time. Gives it a much tighter turning circle than you'd expect for its size.
Yeah.
Really helps in car parks and city streets.
And adaptive suspension is standard. Comfortable ride.
Yes, standard. Adjusts based on mode. Reviews rave about the comfort, actually. Even in sport mode, it's not harsh. Great for city driving, school runs, that kind of thing.
And quiet on the highway. Autobahn cruising.
Very quiet, good aerodynamics, low drag coefficient, minimal wind and tire noise reported. Makes for relaxed, long journeys.
Adaptive cruise and lane keeping work well. Easy to use.
Seem to function smoothly. And controlled by just one button on the steering wheel, which is nice and simple.
The navigation, planning charging stops, and preconditioning the battery, that's really smart.
Yeah, helps optimize charging speeds. It can also learn regular roads, give traffic warnings. Very clever system.
And it can tow.
Yep, about 2.5 tons capacity. Pretty practical for an EV.
Only downside, maybe the limited top speed for Autobahn blasts.
Possibly frustrating for some, yeah.
Yeah.
Electronically limited. Charging times seem pretty standard overnight on a home charger, or about 30 mins for 1080% on a powerful DC fast charger. Preconditioning is key for those fast speeds.
Any other driving quirks? Slight accelerator lag mentioned?
One or two reviewers noted a very slight delay, and sometimes the regen braking doesn't bring it to a full stop, it coasts slowly. Might need a dedicated hold function or tweak.
But the light steering makes it easy to drive day to day.
Very maneuverable, yes. It seems easy to place on the road.
Okay, let's circle back inside quickly. Some of those tech quirks. Crystal controls everywhere.
Definitely a theme. Seat controls on the door, start-stop, gear selector, iDrive controller, all crystal options. Very distinct.
But that wooden panel with the haptic shortcut buttons? Mixed reviews?
Yeah, it looks sleek, but some found them less intuitive, maybe a bit slow to respond compared to actual buttons. That classic form versus function debate again.
Right. And the climate control setup. Temperature sliders always on screen, but other stuff hidden in menus. Potentially confusing.
Could be, yeah. Especially accessing passenger controls requires an extra swipe.
And the radiant heat panels we mentioned. Unusual.
Very. The infotainment system itself, tons of features. Integrated Spotify, built-in dash cam. Almost overwhelming, maybe?
Could be for some. That 3D camera view that matches your car color sounds cool, though.
Yeah, nice touch. And the driver display, big improvement, lots of layout options, big map view.
Yeah.
Though maybe still not quite as configurable as, say, the Mercedes system.
Okay. That hexagonal wheel again, capacitive buttons for driver assist. But setting the cruise control distance is in a menu, not a button.
Seems so. Less immediate than a simple switch, maybe.
The dimming panoramic roof instead of a shade. Very modern. Slim air vents for the minimalist look.
Even the olive leaf dye for the leather points to that sustainable modern angle.
Practical bits like phone storage spots are good. The crystal gear selector operation is unique. Push for reverse, pull for drive.
Park is just a button, or automatic when you open the door, and it makes a futuristic sound when you turn it on.
Adds to the vibe. Electronic door releases in the back, too, with a mechanical backup.
Yep, safety backup included. Even the key fob design is thought through. BMW logo locks it.
Gesture controls seem a bit gimmicky, maybe, if you have buttons anyway.
Yeah, reviews kind of felt that way. Nice party trick, but maybe not essential. The Harman Kardon sound system, though, universally praised.
Good sound is always important. Okay, so a real mix of impressive tech and some interesting usability choices inside.
That sums it up well.
But finally, let's wrap with practicality. Cargo space, storage.
Well, being on that EV platform means good interior space overall. Deep center cubby, big door bins, decent glove box.
Trunk access is easy. Electric tailgate.
Yep, electric tailgate. Opening is maybe a touch narrower because the lights are on the tailgate itself. Cargo space is 500 liters. Decent, but maybe not best in class. Smaller than, say, a Mercedes EQC.
Flat floor, though. Underfloor storage.
Yeah, flat floor helps loading. Good underfloor space for cables. Tow hook has its own spot. And the rear seats fold electrically, creating a nice continuous flat area.
But the parcel shelf is solid, not a roll-up cover.
Right. Which is less practical because there's nowhere to store it if you take it out.
Ah, okay. And the big one, no frunk, no front trunk.
Nope. Bit of a missed opportunity, according to some reviews, especially since the rear cargo space isn't enormous for its size class. It's about X5 length, but less cargo room.
Interesting compromise. Power folding rear seats are handy, though. And you can fit a bike in.
With the seats down, yeah. Shows it's still pretty usable day to day.
Okay, so wrapping up this whip check, you've now got a pretty comprehensive look at the BMW iX based on those reviews you shared.
Yeah, it's clearly a really interesting mix. Cutting-edge tech, definitely luxurious and spacious inside.
It's impressive performance, but all packaged in that design that certainly gets people talking.
For sure. From self-healing grills and crystal bits to being super quiet on the highway and having decent real-world range, it definitely carves out its own space in the electric SUV world.
We hope this has helped you get a clearer picture of what makes the iX tick, what really stands out to you after hearing all this. Anything else you're curious about in the EV market?
Let us know. We're always looking for the next car topic for Whip Check.
And hey, if you found this valuable, learned something new, be sure to hit like and subscribe for more deep dives into what's new and noteworthy on the road.
Absolutely. Staying up to date doesn't have to be a chore. We try to bring you the key stuff, straight from the source. Until the next Whip Check.